Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Kudzi. So today's video I'm going to be talking about how I found out I was pregnant. I am 19, so you know it's still quite young. I'm going to be talking about the stresses, telling my parents, well my mom, my family, my boyfriend, you know, their reactions, how I dealt with it really. I'm going to be doing all that whilst I'm doing my makeup because I hate just talking videos. I can't just talk into the camera for like 10 minutes. But yeah, on my channel I do a bit of a part called Real Talk, which is going to be really me talking about issues that I've dealt with and really being real. And then other parts of my channel is going to be fashion, beauty, skincare and all that stuff, because that's what I'm really passionate about. So yeah, today we're just going to be talking about, you know, the initial reaction, finding out, and then later on I'll go about, you know, stuff I've struggled with, my symptoms, and you know, getting into the really like TMI stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, you know, and if you do, and if you want to see more of me, you know, just click that subscribe button if you want to, you know, see more. And you can follow me on my social medias. I only use Instagram really, so you can just follow me on there. I'll put the link down below. But let's get into this video. Ignore how dehydrated and tired my skin looks because I know I am struggling with my skincare at the moment. Still waiting for that glow to happen. Don't know when that's gonna happen. Already prepped my face with my Hydro Boost face spritz from Neutrogena. And I've also primed with my Fenty Beauty, the Soft Matte Pro Filter primer. I found out when I was around 5-6 weeks. I'm 16 weeks now, so that was like 10 weeks ago. Why did that take me so long? I don't know. So if I'm just looking everywhere, it's because I'm obviously doing my face. Some people take some time to find out they're pregnant. Some people don't even know for months. But like, I know my body so well. My period is always on time. It is like clockwork, that thing. That's the one thing I could always count on. So I always know when I'm about to go on my period. So I'd actually got an operation. I had got my tonsils removed. I got my tonsils removed in July, so by the end, like around the end of July, 22nd, 20th, and they obviously do a urine test and stuff before any operation. Nothing came back then, and then after the operation, obviously I was quite low and down, always sleeping and tired, so you know, I never really thought much about it. And then when my period was near, I was like, oh, okay, this is the time, you know, my breasts were hurting, which is like, the thing about pregnancy symptoms that are very similar, like early pregnancy symptoms are very similar to your period symptoms. So, you know, I was just kind of like, nah, you know, it's whatever. But then that day, my period did not come that night. I was like, you know what? Something's not right. Something is a bit, it has to be off because she's always on time. she's never given me a break. Always on time, never late. And you know, I haven't been with my boyfriend for very long, so I was like, oh, this cannot be happening, this cannot be happening, this cannot be happening.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't.
Okay, I need to go to the shops. I need to get a pregnancy test. Let's just do it, because I feel like the longer you wait, the worse. You're just making it for yourself. I put powder on my face after my primer. I'm using the Fenty Beauty powder in the shade Nutmeg, I think it is. But yeah, I was like, you know, if you like wait to find out, and if you wait to see if you are pregnant or not, man, you're just gonna be stressing 24/7. I was like, I'm gonna be stressing 24/7. I need to know right now. So I went to the shops in the morning. I was still feeling a bit iffy from my operation, so like it was the first time I was out in like a week, and I was like, oh, this is so much. I was so tired. But obviously I was also so tired because of the pregnancy hormones. Little did I know. Yeah, and I went into Tesco. I was like, okay, I'll get Clear Blue, because those are the adverts you always see, you know, Clear Blue, breast pregnancy test, tells you how many weeks you are. And I was like, you know what, Every time I've seen that advert, I was like, if I ever need to do a test, that's the test I'm getting. And I got home, everyone was still sleeping, and you know, I was reading the instructions, and they were like, sometimes, you know, it's better to like pee in a plastic cup and dip the thing, and I was like, I'm gonna do that because I don't know how much pee is about to come out of my body because I'm so nervous. I just lightly colour in my brows because I wear a wig. My wig has a fringe, so ain't nobody seeing these brows anyway. I was like, okay, I got a plastic cup, I peed in it, I dipped my 2 sticks in, closed them back up the other side, and then I waited. I was actually on the phone to my boyfriend. He was away working in Scotland, and then I was like, okay, I've done the test. I have to wait 2 minutes now. He waited on the phone, and I could just, it was like a minute and a bit after, and I could just see those lines going like, I was like, oh, my chest.
Huh. My chest.
I couldn't. I was like, and then I was like, it's positive. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, I think I know how to read a pregnancy test. And then I sent him the picture because the line was quite faint, but then in the instructions it said, even if the line is faint, if it's a plus, you're pregnant. And I was like, it could just be faint because you're really early on, which I was. And I was like, oh, I was like, Ewan, that's my boyfriend's name. I am pregnant. And I could just hear the like panic in his voice and
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
as soon as I got off that phone, tears. And I was like, okay, I need to get up off this bathroom floor. So many thoughts were going through my mind. First of all, I was like, I can't have this baby, I've just quit my job. It was like such wrong timing for me to find out I'm pregnant. Not even the fact that I'm like 19 or still young. That wasn't my main worry. My main worry was, you know, financial stuff and, oh, how am I gonna tell my mom? Because that was my main worries. Because I've always said if I was ever to get pregnant by accident, I wouldn't have an abortion. That's like, don't feel right having the abortion ever. Unless, so my main worry was like, you know, financial. I was like, oh, what if my mum kicks me out? You know, because you always go to the worst. Your mind always thinks the worst first. My mum got pregnant at 18, and you know, she never wanted her kids to get pregnant quite young. And also just because I was just starting to like, you know, figure out my life. I've had a lot of trials and things go wrong in my life, and that stopped me from doing the stuff I wanted to do. You know, I left school after GCSEs for reasons that I will talk about later on in my channel. So, you know, I was just, you know, doing a foundation year in business. I was like, you know, I'm going to start my own makeup business. This is what I want to do. And, you know, I was just, my life was like, you know, finally, you know, kind of getting on track. I was figuring out, you know, what you're meant to do when you're that age and when you're young. And I was like, you know, I still have time to do all this stuff. So I was just panicking. I was like, oh my gosh, what's she gonna think? I told my mom that day. And I was like, Mom, I need to talk to you. I went to her room first and I was like, I need to talk to you. And she was like, you're not pregnant, are you? And I ran away. Like,
why are you running? Why are you running?
I bolted for my room and I just stayed in my room. I hid under my covers. I don't know why I reacted like that. It was such a, you know, stupid reaction. But that was the first thing I did. I ran to my room and I hid. I was like, oh no, she knows. But she thought like, because I always joke with her, I always play pranks on my mom, you know, and go like, oh, I'm pregnant. And she was like, then she came to my room and she was like, Kutsi, are you pregnant? I was like, under my covers, my tests were under the pillow at this point. I pulled them out from under the pillow and just gave her to her. And she was like, oh, Kutsi. And then, you know, obviously the whole disappointed. We have the whole speech about how you have to grow up now. This is a big responsibility. You know, you're gonna have to mature, even though I am quite mature for my age, if I do say so myself. But overall, her reaction wasn't that bad. It was actually a lot better than I thought it would be. And I was so happy, because I was like, I'm so happy I told her now. But you know, I just left her for the day. She was cleaning like so many stuff. That's what she cleans when she's like stressed and have stuff on her mind. So I was like, you know, I'm just gonna leave her for the day and we'll come back about this. And she was just like, you know, you need to go to the doctors. You need to, you know, get this, figure out what you want to do. She's against abortion. She was like, her sister died from an abortion, and she's like a bit like iffy about it, but she was like, you know, at the end of the day, it's your body, but you know, you need to get this on track, because you know, the longer you leave it, it's just going to be harder. And I was like, yeah, I know. So when my boyfriend came back from his work, he came over, and you know, we just kind of sat there and we were just like, okay, so this is happening. So we just took the best thing to do, take it step by step. First thing I did is I went to the doctors, because I didn't know what to do, you know. So I was like, the funniest thing is, we walked in and she had my stuff on. She's like, oh, so you've just had a tonsillectomy. So she was thinking I was coming back because something was wrong with my throat still. And I was like, yeah, I have had one, but that's not the reason I'm in today. I'm in because it's if I'm not pregnant. And she was like, oh, okay. It was so weird and so awkward. But she just gave me the number for the, like, you know, for the midwife, to book a midwife's appointment, because apparently, so she gave me the number. I got home, I called it, and they just asked me a lot of questions, booked me an appointment. I had the appointment like the next week. During that time, it was maybe the hardest for me and my boyfriend in our relationship, even because we hadn't been together that long. So he obviously told his parents, and you know, we were talking about, you know, all the options about abortion, about keeping the baby. There was a lot of arguments, there was a lot of tears. It wasn't easy. It was not easy at all, because I did not want to have an abortion, and he was like, it's probably the best choice. But at the end, you know, you have to do what's best for you. You can always take in everybody's opinions, but always do what's best for you, because at the end of the day, you're the mother, you're the one carrying the child, it's your body. Nobody else can tell you what to do. Yeah, if your boyfriend leaves you, which mine didn't, thankfully, but you know, in some situations, that's what happens. They get scared, they leave. But you know, as long as you've told your parents and you have a good support system, you will be okay, and there's other things in place to help you. You know, you're never going to be alone, but always do what's best for you. So if you're not comfortable with abortion, don't let anybody talk you into abortion. Don't do it. Yeah, but then we finally decided, you know, I was like, no, I want to keep it. I was like, I won't be happy with having an abortion. It just doesn't sit right. It doesn't sit right with my soul, you know? I was just crying and upset and so down and depressed the whole time. Like, and then obviously my hormones weren't helping the situation. I was just so sad. But then we went to the appointment, you know, first midwife appointment. So much information. It was just a lot of questions about your family, your background, his family, his background, your names, getting your folder that you take to each appointment, and then, you know, getting these packs with all this baby stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's real. They ask you when was the first day of your last period, and then they kind of calculate how far along you are. I'm using Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer in the shade Golden Honey, and then yeah, they calculate how far along you are, and they were like, okay, so you're around the 6-week mark, and then they're like, we'll send out an appointment for your first scan, which is what you have around 12 weeks, and yeah, and then we were out of there, and I was just like, in the car on the way back, like, wow, this is so real, this is so real, and that's when it hit me. Yeah, so that's basically my story about finding out, and you know, what I did, and you know, my reaction and stuff like that. But right now I am 16 weeks and it has sunk all the way in. I have bought some of my first baby clothing. I had my first scan at 12 weeks. And I remember when I first saw that baby, that's when I was like, that's what I'm doing it for. This is who I'm doing it for, you know. I was like feeling like a mother. I was like, this is my child, you know. Worries still there, obviously always there. Worries and anxiety is always there. But when you first see that little baby on that screen, most of them will go away because you know you're like, it's gonna be worth it at the end when you get to hold that child in your hands. Oh,